TC Rad 1 here, Yamaha TDUB Club, and today, yes, going live because, man, this editing business, uploading to YouTube from my laptop, it's still giving me a lot of hassles, so I'm just going to go live. I saw quite a few comments asking about the tubeless front tire, and was it successful? Am I still using it? Did I go back to the tube? Well, I am tubeless, front and rear. You guys saw my rear tire tubeless conversion, and then I tried it on my front. It was a little bit more difficult to get the bead set because you gotta, compress the tire and get it to squeeze out. So once I got it on there, like, I felt pretty solid about it. And I don't even remember when I did it, but it was quite a few months ago. I'm still on the tire, still tubeless. It's been a success. In the description down below, I will link the rear tubeless conversion, and that'll show you the steps on how I did it. And I basically just repeated those steps for the front. But a lot of you guys were asking about the glue I was using to glue up all the spoke nipples, and it's this 3M marine adhesive sealant. And then I can't remember, it didn't show me what the part number is, but it's this 3M tape that I'll have, that was linked in that blog post. And this stuff is like super sticky. Like, this stuff is like, and it's a 2-layer. You can peel the top layer. Yeah, you can peel the top layer off, and the top layer is not sticky, but that bottom layer is like super sticky. I've never seen tape like this before. But these are the two things that you're going to need if you're going to convert to tubeless. And again, I saw all these big dual sport guys doing it and enduro guys doing it over there on the ADV Rider forum. And I'm like, I'm going to try this on my TDUB. And lo and behold, I am still riding on the rear tire that is still plugged with my plug kit because I wanted to test it out and see if it would actually hold. And I'm still riding on that rear tire. I have a new tire. It's around here somewhere. It's back there. It's like, I don't even think it has 500 miles on it, but I got to get it put on there. But yeah, I'm still riding on the tire that's pretty much wore out. But it is tubeless. And so is the front tire. It is tubeless. And somebody was asking about the weight differences and all that. I don't think I put this much material in the wheel to equal the weight of the tube. So I know it's lighter, but for all of us that are running the Shinko 241, it is heavier than the stock tire, but it's not as heavy as the 244. I've ridden some other TDUBs with that tire, and that's a much heavier, and it actually feels heavy. But this tire here is pretty much the best balance, upgrading from the stock, what they call the Death Wing. It's actually the TW Trail Wing 31, I believe. But for those of guys that are like me, you always can't afford what you want when you want it. If you're running that stock tire and you're off-road in the dirt, let some air out and see how that feels. Like, I know guys that are running down to 8 PSI on that stock tire. I was running about maybe 10 and 12 in the front tire, and it helps it give a little bit more side bite. And I don't have a stock front tire here to show you, but the big blocks on the side doesn't have cross siping, and that's what's allowing it to slide out from underneath you. On the pavement, that's a superior dual sport knobby tire, but once it gets in the dirt and once it kind of gets over in the angle, it'll want to wash out on you. But I will say, if you're a guy that's riding stand up, like standing up on your foot pegs, and you run that tire 10-14 PSI, you can, it's more predictable. That most guys, I feel like when that stock tire is washing out on them, they're sitting down on the seat, and when it kind of washes out, you're kind of like along for the ride. But if you're, you know, up in the position on your feet, elbows up, always, you know, you got to ride with your elbows up. That's something you just got to learn. You got to be in like aggro mode and have your elbows up, and you can catch things a lot quicker. And if you go out and start riding with that stock tire and just really learn how to ride that tire, when you get over to this tire, it's going to give you that much more confidence. So that's something you need to work on, or should work on. You know, you just ride and have fun, do what you want to do, but you should try to work on that and see what you can do. All right, so those are my updates for the long term, going tubeless on the front tire. And yeah, if you have any other questions in the comments, just post them down there. I'll do read them. Sorry, I've been out of the loop for quite some time. Yeah, is what it is what it is what it is. Also, too, you guys have probably been seeing some updates on TDUB Fest. Am I going to be there? I want to be. Don't we all? Yeah, that's gonna. We got a little time to figure that part out. I don't know if I can get there. I got to get registration for my moto trailer. I need food and gas to get out there. Other than that, that's about all. I do need. I got to get a new shock boot. My shock boot ripped over here, and I have a seal on my rear axle. The bearing seal, it's blown out. And why is my gas tank off? Well, I'm fixing to show you guys another little trick. Yeah, that'll be in another installment. But right now, just always trying to maintain my bike, keep it running, keep it going, and all that kind of good stuff. So once again, tubeless for those who are daring enough. And again, I can't tell you that this is the way to go for you. This works for me and me alone. I'm not responsible for your handicraft. But I'm responsible for myself, and I'm just sharing with you what I've done. And I know a lot of people say it's not recommended and all that kind of good stuff, and I agree, it's not recommended if you're following everything to the T. But letting air out of your tire is also not recommended. But we all do it when we go off-roading, both in our four-wheel drives and on our motos. Okay, that's my GC Red 1 disclaimer of the week. I don't know anything else to tell you right now. Again, this is a live video because I'm not in the editing process ability right now. So, alright, enough of that. Over and out. How do I go out?